difficulties. Chris Ransom here, podcast earlier today where Joey and I were breaking down some of the teams before it connected, and the visuals are back. So basically, I had the Bills running away with the AFC. I've got the Jets at 10-7, the Dolphins at 8-9, and the Patriots at 7-10. But I think the NFC East is going to come down to two teams. Those two teams are Dallas and Philadelphia. And I would not be surprised if these two teams met in the NFC title game, because you look at Dallas and Philadelphia, those are two teams that check off every box from top to bottom. And I think it's good that we have these two teams, because Dallas, I talked about the defensive end depth with Joey. I talked about how they have Parsons. This is a team that just has a lot of depth in a lot of key pieces. Okay, so I'm just glad but yes, you look at you look at the Cowboys, the Eagles. The Cowboys, I just love their depth chart from top to bottom. Pollard, Dowdy, Davis, Ronald Jones, Deuce Vaughn, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Gallup are your starters. You have Jalen Tolbert as your number 4. Ferguson and Hendershot are competing for tight end 1. Sean McKeon and Schumacher competing for tight end 3. Tyler Smith, Tyron Smith, Biades, Martin, Zach, Terrence Steele. I love that lineup for Dallas. DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parr starting edge. Dallas, Dorrance Armstrong, Sam, Chauncey Golston. Joey and I would not shut up about this depth when we were on Talk Shoe, but Parsons, Vander Esch, Jamoten Clark, Jabril Cox, Stephon Gilmore, Demarion Malik Jefferson, Gilmore, Diggs, and Bland are your top 3 corners. The Wilson Curse Hooker tandem, it's a really good tandem. And, I just think Dallas is one of those teams that checks off the boxes. Joey pointed out how he doesn't think Dallas's depth is as deep as they are. But, I think Dallas is one of these teams that checks off a lot of boxes. I think Philadelphia checks off a lot of boxes. I think both teams are going to go 13-4. And the only reason Dallas finished ahead of Philly is because they had the better common opponent percentage. It was that close between these two teams. And I basically said on Talk Shoe that I think Deuce Vaughn may win Super Bowl MVP. And if you said that, you laughed out of the building. But yes, we had the visuals up. I'll show you the schedules because we previewed the AFC East and NFC East on Talk Shoe. I am going to include a full link to the full 6-hour podcast before shit hit the fan. And I'll go through each team briefly here. Yes, I'll go through each team briefly here because I'm going to go through the schedules of my projected winners really quickly. And then I'm going to end the stream because I just have other stuff I can be doing today. And, we already talked about this in its entirety on Talk Shoe. We talked about the Jets, the Patriots. We talked about all these teams. I don't know how many of these teams got mentioned in the podcast before it cut us off, but I'm just once we have everything, I do not want the Browns. I want to show the AFC East teams, and then we're going to move on. No Browns. So, yes. So, there's the Dallas on projected wins and losses. I think the Bills, the Chargers, 49ers, and the Eagles on at home are the ones that realistically beat Dallas. I could be overvaluing Dallas. That is a possibility. Come on. Don't do this to me. You've been really cool. You've been really cool these past 5 minutes. Yes, I'll wait. So, yes, you go through this schedule. That's what I've got, and I'm going to go through the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to be one of these teams that dominates early and struggles late. I mean, the Eagles are one of these teams that could theoretically, if they can beat the Jets in week 6, this is a team that could literally be undefeated at the bye week. But I think they lose the Bills, they lose the Cowboys, and they unravel near the end of the season. So I think they lose their second game to the Bills, and that ends the year 13-4. Come on, please. You've been so cool. Been so cool today. Yes, I'll wait. Sheesh. You've been really good to me. I appreciate that. Unlike earlier when because this is the thing, we did the in-depth breakdown on live stream, but Giants, I just think the Giants, Joey has them at 9-8, I am at 7-10. I just do not trust this roster on paper. I look at a team and I ask myself, is this a team that can win on paper? And if the answer is no, they don't pass the eye test for me. But we'll look through the Giants, the Commanders, and then I am calling it a day. I will post a link to the other live stream that we did before it cut us off. And yeah, so I've got the Commanders winning 4 games, got the Giants winning 7. But there you go, folks. That will do it. We'll be back next Saturday with NFC. We'll be back AFC West, NFC West, and SEC whenever I get an update on Joey's schedule. I'm Chris Ransom. I want to thank Joe Potter for putting up with my podcast and everyone else listening. Sometime next